Tulips still grew every year. Like Amsterdam still got fully in bloom. The first thing I did was I went to Amsterdam because it's set in Amsterdam and I feel like that's a city that operates in a very specific way. I'd never been to the Anne Frank house. So I went there, had a tour of that, and I mean, it's where Miep worked, so I could literally like sit at her desk and look out of her window. I went to her apartment and I did a lot of Miep's cycle routes. So I cycled her route to work, I cycled the route that she takes Margot across the checkpoint. I just kind of got a feel for the city and what it was like there. I also read, Miep wrote her own book called Anne Frank Remembered that she wrote in the 80s, and I read that a few times.
I watched a few of the sort of more famous films, Holocaust films, films, Schindler's List and Pianist and things like that, just to get a sense of the time and what was going on outside of Amsterdam. Mm. And then filming on the streets of Amsterdam and going to the Anne Frank house and seeing the imagery of Anne as a young girl and the family and just really, and filming outside. We were filming on the same streets where Jews were being taken out of these buildings to concentration camps and the Franks where they were living. And we were filming on those streets, so it just felt very visceral. And
well, I think one of the thing that sets this show apart from maybe other historical shows is you're not just being banged over the head by a bunch of facts. Like Tony and Joan really wanted to feel the humanity in the show. As much as it's about this political time in history, it's also about marriage and it's about parenting and it's a coming of age story. So there are plenty of things that I could relate to just on a human level.
There was an opportunity to put your own interpretation on it. We were cast for a reason, to bring a sense of truth and a sense of ourselves to these roles, and a sense of there's a sort of modern sort of element and trying to make these characters as relatable as we possibly could, and this relationship as relatable as we can for the audience. We don't want people to feel like this is history, these people were from 80 years ago, this is a different time. It's like, no, these people are very relevant, and we want people to watch it and go, man, right, what would I have done in this situation? Who would I have been? Could I have done anything close to what these incredible people did? So that was our aim, just to make it feel kind of fresh.
So with any job, like that's the scope of the character. Like the smaller moments, like between a married couple, are as important as the kind of larger, more like kind of actiony moments, and that's what makes the story have colour, and that's what makes the character have colour.
For me, there was a real sort of juxtaposition between the stuff on the streets with the Nazis and a lot of the stuff in Amsterdam, the canal, and there was like these big set pieces. And then we had these moments of respite where it was just myself and Belle, and there were two handers and these more intimate, or sometimes just them being at home cooking dinner or doing very ordinary things. Falling in love, getting married, bickering, buying food, doing regular things.
Yeah, that's what made it feel real, and that's hopefully what makes it feel accessible and makes an audience feel connected to it. Year on year of the Nazi occupation, like the tulips still grew every year. Like Amsterdam still got fully in bloom. Like, life went on. Like their marriage was still going on, the journey of their marriage. It wasn't gonna wait until the war was over. So I think it was the juxtaposition between those larger, like more actiony moments and just the kind of more real moments of like a marriage or like a father and daughter in terms of like Otto and Anne, like that's what makes it feel connected and accessible and relatable to an audience.